Today, we're going to attempt to fix the glove box problem in the new Toyota Tacoma. Now, if you're not familiar with what I'm talking about, you will be if you buy one of these or if you have one and simply haven't noticed it yet. And of course, now that you're going to know, you're going to know. But what I'm talking about is the glove box moves. And you can imagine going down a bumpy road and having to listen to that. It's going to drive you insane. Now, the reason that it moves like that is because Toyota used these little nubs that contact these little points that are too short. It doesn't even contact those nubs when you put it up, obviously, or it wouldn't do that, right? So, my first thought was to put, before I realized it was these nubs, was to put some weather stripping. Just a couple little pieces here and here to take up the space so that the door was shut tight against them and wouldn't move like that. But after considering that, I thought, you know, this stuff always sticks, even though there isn't tape on the other side, to whatever is up against it. And I could see it coming off and then leaving an adhesive residue on here, just being a mess. And honestly, that's not the solution. The solution is to have a longer nub here so that it contacts the point it's supposed to when you shut the glove box. Now, I honestly believe that Toyota is going to take care of this because they're going to get a lot of complaints about this. It's already circulating on the web. I'm starting to see numerous posts and videos about it. So I'm sure Toyota's going to come up with a simple nub, and that's all it really takes, that's longer so it will contact the door. But I'm going to try to do that myself. My idea, and I'm hoping, is that these just kind of squeeze through the hole. I can pull one out, see what it looks like, and then maybe go to Lowe's or something and see if I can't actually get something longer, a rubberish, you know, kind of nub like this, to go ahead and put in the hole. And I can even trim the other side of whatever I get to make sure that it stays inside the hole. And I will tell you, if you look behind, you can see a red piece in there, which I believe is metal. I don't think that's any kind of a washer or anything. We're going to find out because I'm going to pull one of these out right now for you guys and me so we can see what they look like. All right, hopefully I have you at a good angle. First thing I'm going to try to do is just use a pry tool with one of those pry ends on it to kind of pry it out of there. And I don't know that that's going to be very successful. We're going to try, the first one wasn't. We're going to try a couple of different ones. I think they're probably just too big in my case. And they are. They're not coming out. So the next thing I'm going to try to do, and I'm trying to stay away from a screwdriver. I mean, I could stick a screwdriver in there and force this thing, but I'm going to damage it if I do. And I don't want to damage either the glove box area or the little thing itself. So we're going to see if I can just get behind it with a pry tool, plastic, and maybe wedge it out of there. And so far, I'm not... Whoop, wait a minute. Oh, wow. It is not what I thought it was. I'll show you what I'm talking about here. This is the nub right here. You guys can see it. A very tiny little piece, right? And it has a plastic, looks like threaded insert in this hole. So I don't know if you can twist that thing out. Let's sit that down so I don't lose it. Nah, it feels like it's held in by something else behind, and I really don't want to grab on that and pull because I think I would damage whatever is behind it. So what I really need is some sort of a nub about twice as long as this is, maybe a little more, piece of rubber or something that I can drill a little hole in the back of. That's my thinking. And go ahead and put it on that nub. So it looks like we're going to take a trip to Lowe's, see what I can find in their specialty boxes in the form of rubber, and see if I can't come up with something to put on. So stay tuned. We'll be back when I'm back. All right, back from Lowe's. I got three different possibilities here. The original again is here. Man, I almost lost it. It's such a tiny thing. This is the original, and you can see this is quite a bit larger, right? And these are bigger, and these are probably closer to the size I need, except these are much more flimsy, if you will. So I'm going to use these for spacing to see if they work, and then I'm going to adapt probably these stoppers. And all of this came from Lowe's, by the way, but I'm going to maybe adapt these stoppers and see if they work. I will have to put a hole in the back, but that's not really a big deal. You just use a drill bit. It's not hard. So let's start with these and see if they make any difference. All right, got these little things here, and they are maybe a 1/4 inch or so longer than the stock solution. So I'm going to just slip it on there. Hopefully it stays. It probably won't. I'd have to glue it or something, obviously, if I wanted it to work. But let's just shut this and see. It does make contact. There is still movement, but it is definitely tighter. See at the top there, I don't know if you guys can see in there. Probably not. But it does make contact, but it's not really a solution, I don't think. And I probably just lost it anyway. I don't know where it went. It fell out, so it doesn't matter. Let's try this other piece. This has actually threaded on the inside. I'm sure it's too big. Maybe not. Wow. It is too big, but it kind of screws on there. And this will give me an idea of size. Let's see what this does. That is too big. Can't even shut it with that on. So I now know, at least, that that's going to be too big. And even if it did shut, look at the gap you're going to have there. And that's something else I'm going to have to overcome. I don't want a gap, obviously. So this is going to be too big. So I think what I'm going to do, if I can get that off without losing it, what I'm going to have to do is go with the stoppers that I have. And what I'll do is drill a hole in the back so that they fit on there. And then I'm just going to cut them until they get to the length that does what I want to do. That simple. All right, that was an epic fail. It did not work. One thing I found out, and I did put the other one back on, these things push in, like so. So you have no leverage to screw anything onto it, if you will. All it does is push in when you put pressure on it. Kind of a bummer. So we're going to try something else. I've got these little, I guess, closer things. You know, when you close a kitchen cabinet or any cabinet against the other edge, these are what you use to soften the blow, if you will. And they happen to be about the same size as the little nubs where these things impact. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put one on, and we're going to see if it makes any difference, and it'll at least tell us how much distance we need to take up, right? So let me get one of these suckers off of here. And I'm going to go ahead and stick it on. This is kind of a preliminary thing. I'll clean this up with rubbing alcohol and all that good stuff if this works. It fits exactly on there, so let's see if that makes any difference. The movement is better, but not completely gone. So if I was to stick a second one on there, I know, kind of wasteful, isn't it? But let's try a second one. And again, I'm just doing this to see if it works at all. Let's see what we get. 2 is too many. So you cannot use 2 of them. It does not work. But 1, see if I can get this even off of there now. I can. 1 makes a difference. Let's try 1 on the other side. Maybe this is going to be the short solution, right? Of course, that didn't stick on there very well. The good thing is you'll have pressure holding these things down, hopefully, so they'll adhere better, because I may just go with them as they are. Let's see. You do get a little bit more movement, as you can see, but nothing like what we had before. I would say it's probably about half as much as what we had before. These seem to work pretty well, but they don't completely get rid of the movement. Much better, like I said. But I'm going to try one more thing. I have another size of these, whatever you call them, cushioners, that are shorter than these. So I'm going to put one on top, and I want to see if that makes any difference. And it's rounded, so it would look like a finished piece if I did that. Let's see if it works. And the answer is no. It would be too high with one of those on. So it's going to have to be the ones that I have. I guess my advice is if you're looking to do this, I would get a couple of different sizes of these little shorties, I'll call them, whatever they are, I don't know. For me, they're just in a bag, so I can't even tell you what size they are, but they're pretty standard. I mean, obviously, you wouldn't want one that big, but you can see what they look like. They're just a round cushion thing for cabinets, really. Same kind of, I guess, application as what we're doing here. One more time, I don't think I'm going to pull them off because they're sticking on there pretty well. You know, when you get something that seems to work, don't mess with it. Here's how it is now. Again, it's not like it can't move, but it is nowhere moving as close as it was before. And I actually think that'll hold pretty good. You'd have to go over some pretty serious bumps for that to work. Anyway, that is going to be my solution in the end. Much easier than what I was going to do with the stoppers or everything else. I'm sure Toyota's going to come out with some quick little fix, a longer nub for their thing on there so that it'll work. And should you have to do this? Well, absolutely not. You shouldn't have to do this. However, to go to the store and buy a couple of these little things, much better than spending my time arguing with the dealership or sitting at the dealership while they get it done. A quick test for you guys. We're driving on a smooth road. I'll be quiet, let you hear. There's the glove box. No noise. Now, we're going to go over a railroad track here in just a second, so we're going to bounce. Pay attention to the seam there. No noise from the glove box. What you may have heard was right down there on the seat. That did not come from the glove box. In a minute, we're going to be on the roughest road that I have to travel around here. And I'll let you hear what it sounds like going down that road where I used to hear the glove box bouncing around, and that's actually what prompted me to do what I've done with the glove box. Okay, here we go. This is the roughest road that I travel on around here. I'll be quiet and let you look and listen. Again, that sound you're hearing is coming from that little device down there, not from the glove box. At least not yet. So, there you have it. I am satisfied. I think my very simple little fix took care of it. Again, let me know what you think.